Okay, I'm Randy Robertson. I'm a math instructor here at Solano Community College. And today I'm going to talk about order of operations. And so one of the acronyms you frequently hear, one of the abbreviations you frequently hear when you learn about order of operations is PEMDAS, right? What does it mean? Well, it's not really a word or anything. It's an abbreviation, right? It stands for, most of you already know this, parentheses, exponents. I'll write these all down in a second if you haven't heard this. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Okay, now one of the things, math teachers and myself included, we're kind of drifting a little bit away from PEMDAS, and the reason is because a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that you do all your multiplications before you do any of your divisions, which you really don't. The truth is, it's more like, you P and then E, and then M and D put together, and actually A and S are the same way. A and S have to go together too. So let me rewrite this in a different way. Take this whole thing and rewrite this in a different way that actually is maybe a little more consistent, a little easier to follow. First thing you do is anything that's in parentheses. Second thing is exponents. That's an N. The third thing is multiplication and division from left to right. Okay. And the fourth thing you do is addition and subtraction from left to right also. Okay, let's try some examples with this. I can kind of show you how this all works. So the first example I wanted to do was 3 squared plus 8 minus 5. Okay, let's say we want to simplify this expression here. Okay, what do we do first? Well, we look at our order of operations. What comes first? Parentheses. Okay, well then you look at this and you say parentheses. Where are the parentheses that I do first? Well, guess what? There are no parentheses. What do I do? Did I do something wrong? Did I make a mistake? What's wrong here? Well, don't worry, calm down. There's no parentheses, that's okay. What that means is if it's not up there, you just get to skip it. You skip it, it's like a day off. There's no parentheses, you can go right on to the next thing, okay? And this will be, most of the time, this is what will happen. With order of operations problems, usually you won't do all 4 steps. There will usually be at least one of these steps where there's nothing to do, and so you just go right on to the next one. Okay, so be ready for that. So there's no parentheses, so we go right on to exponents. You see any exponents? Yeah, there's one. There's a 2 up there, right? It's an exponent. Okay, so let's do that one. What's 3 to the 2nd power? Well, 3 to the 2nd power is 3 times 3, that's 9, right? So this is equal to 9 plus 8 minus 5. The idea is that whatever operation you did there, you rewrite with that, and then you you copy everything else from the expression. You copy exactly as it was down with the new line of the problem. Okay, so I think we're done with exponents, right? And do you see any more exponents in here? No exponents. Okay, we're done with that. Let's go to multiplication and division from left to right. Do you see any multiplication or division in here? I don't see any, right? Okay, well guess what? It's like another day off, right? Okay, we passed right by that one, right? No multiplication and division. We go right on to addition and subtraction from left to right. Okay, do you see any of those? Any addition, subtraction? Well, hey, there's a plus and there's a minus, right? So there's one addition and one subtraction. So which one do we do first? Well, it's from left to right. So it's just the same way we read. We go from left to right. So what's the first one we run into? It's this one, the plus. So the first thing we do with this is we do 9 plus 8. 9 plus 8 is 17. So we rewrite the 9 plus 8 is 17 and then bring down the minus 5 because we copy whatever we didn't do anything to on the last step. We just bring it down. Okay, now what? Well, 17 minus 5, well, there's not much to do left, right? What's 17 minus 5? But that falls under the addition and subtraction category too. So, so we do that one. 17 minus 5, that's 12. Okay, and that's our answer. Once you're down to one number, that means you're done with the problem. So our answer is 12. Okay, so here's another example of order of operations. This one's a little bit harder. We have 25 divided by 5 times the parentheses 8 minus 4. Remember that this, if there's no, I mean, we don't have a plus or a minus or a divided or a times in between the 5 and the parentheses, that implies that it's a multiplication. And then minus 4 to the second power at the end. Okay, so it's a little longer, it's a little harder, but it's the same deal. We start with parentheses, right? So parentheses, that's the first step. Okay, do you see any parentheses here? This time we do have parentheses. There's an 8 minus 4. Okay, well, what's 8 minus 4? That's what, and I know some people may say, hey, subtraction, doesn't that come down here? Don't we do that later? Doesn't matter. If it's parentheses, if it's inside the parentheses, that it happens in this step. Okay, so we do the 8 minus 4. That's going to give us, and everything else, we just copy down the same. Divided by 5, and this is times 4 now, minus 4 squared. It's times 4 because remember, even though we didn't write a times here, there still is a times there, it's implied. Okay. So what's the next step? Parentheses are all done, they're all gone, so we go to exponents. Are there any exponents here? Yeah, there's one right there. So let's take care of that. What's 4 to the second power? That's 16. So we copy everything else down the same, and then we write minus 16 at the end. Okay? Okay, so what's next? We're done with exponents. Multiplication and division from left to right. Well, we have a division and a multiplication. Which one do we do first? And see, this is where, if you're doing strict PEMDAS, you might run into some trouble, and you might think, oh, well, the multiplication comes first because M comes before D. It doesn't. Okay? All multiplication and division from left to right. This is the first one you get to from left to right. So you actually do the division first here. Okay? So 25 divided by 5, we do that, that's 5. Okay, and then we write everything down, still times 4 minus 16. Okay, any more multiplication and divisions to do? Yeah, there's this one right here. So 5 times 4, that's 20 minus 16. And now we can get to the addition and subtraction. There's just one subtraction, so we go ahead and do that one, and we get 20 minus 16 is 4. Okay, so just to recap, so for order of operations, you can solve any problem. The first step you do is you do parentheses, take care of parentheses, then you do exponents, then multiplication and division from left to right, addition and subtraction from left to right, just like we did in the examples. And if you do that, you can solve any problem with order of operations, and it should get you the right answer.